Hey, it's Tom from Total Balance Chiropractic. It's really important to be exercising. It's really good for your body and it's really good for your overall health. But it's also really important to make sure you prepare properly before you actually go and exercise. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is my 5-minute mobility tips to make sure that when you go to exercise, your body's ready to go. So stick around to find out more. Thanks for hanging around. Now, as I was mentioning, it's really important to make sure you put time aside to warm up properly. And this, for most people, should be at least 5 to 10 minutes before you actually start to work out. It's one of those things where people go straight into a workout, they're putting themselves at a much higher risk of injury. And when you're injured, it slows everything down. It means you can't work out properly and it slows down your whole progress. So putting 5 to 10 minutes aside before you actually get into it has massive dividends. So depending on what you're actually planning to do in the day's workout, will change how you're going to warm up slightly. So how I recommend you do it is aim to start to warm up the muscles that you're going to be using in particular and actually go through some of those movements at really light weights or with no weight. So I'm going to go through a couple of things on how to use a couple of different tools. So first thing is a roller. Now, James and I have done a couple of for around the roller, and if you haven't seen those, really recommend going and checking them out. It just runs through a few do's and don'ts in and around using a roller. But for starting off with, before a workout, so what you're trying to do before a workout is something excite things, get things ready to go. So if you're using a roller before a workout, you're not going for I'm just gonna leisurely lay on the roller and move around a little bit. What you're actually wanting to do is get the muscles ready to go. So excite them a bit. And this is where you'd actually use, if you've seen those rollers which are sort of have the spikes and stuff, this is where they're really useful. But you want to actually just go quickly, get the muscle ready and loose, and ready to actually move. You don't want this really slow, drawn-out movement. That's really good for afterwards, but not so much beforehand. So make sure, whatever you're doing. If you're going to be doing some squats, make sure you're loosening up and getting those quads ready to go. Make sure you're activating those glutes, really preparing through there. So that's how you want to use a roll beforehand. If you're doing stuff with a barbell, get a barbell with no weight and actually go through some movements with it. So get yourself ready and actually spend some proper time with a barbell, just getting your body ready to go. So doing various movements, whether it be stuff overhead, whether it be lifting it off the ground, make sure you're putting a decent bit of time with an empty barbell in to make sure your body's ready to go when you start loading up with a bit more weight. If you find a barbell is too heavy, then a piece down is a really good one as well. And once again, just going through the same 2 movements, getting your body ready to go, whether it be doing something like a squat, just make sure for when you actually get into the exercise, your body's loosened up, all those muscles are ready to go. Now, if you are doing something like you're going to a squat, make sure you get comfortable getting into that sort of depth. So once again, piece down is good to have, but sit into sort of a deep squat. And just let your body sort of get comfortable there. Don't just statically hold it though, because your body's going to just use the same areas. You want to actually get into a point where you're getting any good depth to it and just sort of bounce a bit. Just get the muscles loosened up, ready to go. Piece down is also really good to work on some sort of shoulder mobility beforehand. So just getting a piece down and just getting your shoulders through different planes of movement, just making sure you're all warmed up. Other useful thing for doing a bit of shoulder mobility beforehand is a resistance band. So resistance bands are really good and used in a couple of ways. So one way is to actually just getting shoulders through some different movements, different planes. Also, if you've got a rig there, actually strap around the rig and use it. So pulling it down and actually running your hand through it to take it through your shoulder through different directions, activate down through your lats, get your whole body ready to go. Now, the other thing you want to be doing is, if you're going to be doing some running during your workout, go for a light jog, get loosened up beforehand. Okay? So guys, if you've got more questions on this, make sure you ask James or I when he next in. Feel free to shoot us a message. Always happy to answer questions and get back to you. So key things to take away though is make sure you're putting time aside before you work out and make sure you're planning your warm up. So look at what's going to be coming up in your workout and make sure those areas of your body are ready to go.